Hello and welcome to the channel How We Move the Decimal. In today's video, I'm going to take you on what I'm going to do as like a video series, I think. For the time being, I have some ideas to possibly, if we have maybe a big purchase coming this summer, and that will be another series, but this is our biggest purchase to date this year. Granted, it was the last week of January when it happened, but we haven't really made a big purchase since last February, since over a year ago when we went to the bins. So this is our largest purchase in a very long time, and it is books. We are not as well versed in books as we are in other things, but this is the introductory video. I wish I could find the pictures from my van. I have a Grand Caravan minivan, and we filled the entire back seat and the entire middle with all of these boxes. And my poor child had to sit in the middle with all of them, and he was squished, but he helped us. So a little backstory. There was an estate sale done by an estate sale company that was semi-new to the area. They've had a couple sales this year. The lady running it thinks I have been to one. I don't know if I have or not. There's usually another estate sale company that tends to snap up all the estate sales that, and this is different than estate sale auctions because there's two different auction houses that do that too. But these are the estate sales that come in and actually run estate sales. There are two different companies in town. One of them is very popular. He snaps up all the estate sales he can, and he is not willing to bargain on prices. He will not buy lots. He will not give you a deal. The price is what it is. The price is the price. I had, again, thought I'd never been to one run by this company. The person running it said I had. Maybe I have, or maybe I saw her at another sale. But we went Saturday. They were posting on Facebook their Friday, and their Friday was crazy. They had the old vintage Pyrex bowls, the multicolored. They had all the pastel colors. They had two large tables and an entire kitchen countertop full of vintage Pyrex. And they also had the vintage like cartoon glasses, so like Garfield and the Smurfs and all of that. And they had blow molds. They had vintage blow molds. They had a Woody the Woodpecker blow mold. They had the entire nativity scene blow mold. This was probably a paradise for someone who's doing antiques. When I saw all those things on their Facebook page, and I saw that they had put pictures of them on their Facebook page, I knew I didn't want to go on Friday. And I think I was right. When I was talking to the lady Sunday after we picked up these books, she said the line was several blocks long to get in. And you know the first 5 people are going to get everything that you wanted to get, so why even bother waiting in line? But that's a whole nother story. I'm just glad I avoided it on Friday. Friday was crazy, apparently. I went in on Saturday. Again, if there was something that I wanted and I thought I could get that maybe wasn't well known, I would have went Friday. But even if I would have went Friday, I would not have gone for the blow molds. I would not have gone for the vintage Pyrex. I would have gone for something else because I know that those were very sought after. And she said they sold in the first 15 minutes of the sale. And then it was a pretty slow day the rest of the day. So we went in on Saturday. My husband and I did, and it was pretty slow. We could have entire rooms of the house to ourselves. So I consider that slow. Where Sunday was a lot busier, but we'll get to that in a minute. We went around, and it's one of the estate sales where you can go in the bathrooms for things. You can go downstairs. They only had one room blocked off, and that had a bunch of tools and machinery in it. So I understand. But otherwise, you had free run of the house. The garage, in cabinets, under cabinets, all around, everything. It was priced reasonably, slightly too high for books. They had all books were $1, which maybe if you're doing it for personal use, that'd be fine. But $1 for resale books, I'm not willing to spend. So this is where this is going to come into play pretty soon. I noticed that there were a lot of old cookbooks and a lot of old local cookbooks. And local cookbooks tend to sell. It's like a niche market. It's very kitschy. People like them. So we had a lot of cookbooks from the 40s to the 70s. some 1920 like home ec books and stuff, but a lot of books. And I went through Saturday, looked at all the books, looked in the nooks and crannies, and I was like, you know, I'm not going to pay $1 for these. But on Sunday, it's 50% off. We did buy some stuff on Saturday that we knew would not be there on Sunday, which is what I always recommend. If it's something you think will make money, if it's something you want, then buy it the first day. Do not wait to buy it on Sunday because Sunday was busy. Saturday was pretty chill. So Friday was crazy. Saturday was pretty chill. Sunday was busy. So the Saturday we spent maybe an hour and a half there, went through all of the rooms with the knowledge that we were probably coming back on Sunday. So we went home and I kept thinking about it, and we watch Shed Flips pretty religiously. So they talk about like flipping old cookbooks and stuff like that. So I went home, we both talked over, we both thought about it. The Facebook page or post that the estate sale company had put up, they had decided that they were going to not answer any questions. They said, do not contact us. We're not going to answer any questions. But early Sunday morning, I decided, you know, let's go for it. I was buying these books sight unseen, technically. I had no idea. There could have been one book left. I had no idea what books were bought out by the time I got there. But I sent a message at 8:30 in the morning, and they were going to open up at noon. And we were there Saturday early morning. So they had the rest of the day Saturday to sell too. I sent the estate sale company a message and I said, hey, would you sell all your books for $50? And they came back and they're like, no, maybe 100. And I said, well, the highest I can go is 80. So, and if they would have not taken that offer, I would have offered to buy all the cookbooks. But she came back and she said, 80 is fine. That's great. I had no idea the amount of books that were still there. As you can see in this picture, there are 16 boxes / tubs full of books. There are tubs on top of tubs, boxes on top of tubs. There was so many books. We have only gone through 4 tubs and we have gone through 276 books. So if we keep going at the rate we're going, I think we're going to pay roughly 10 cents a book, which I am completely okay with. Super fine with 10 cents a book. This was a lot. It was a lot more than I thought. And because we had bought all the books, we had to go find all the books. Some of them were on the bookshelves, but they had sold the bookshelves, so they were on the floor. There was another bookshelf by the door. There was a bunch stacked up in a corner. There was a bunch of cookbooks in a hutch in the kitchen. There was some design books in another room. There was 2 tubs of books in the garage, 2 tubs of books in the basement. Each bedroom had at least a box full of books. So we were running all over this house. And every time we thought we got them all, we would find more. So we'd be like, oh, we have all the books. No. Or we have all the books, let's do another pass through. I could have swore there were no books in the garage, and my 14-year-old comes back and he's like, hey, I opened 2 tubs and they're full of books. So I'm like, oh geez, we have to go back out and find all these books. We honestly thought we were going to have to put books in the topper of the van. We do have like an escargot shell on top of the van. And we're going to have to put books in there. The van rode lower with all these books in there. I don't know how much pounds they are, but it's a lot of books. So I'm going to do a semi-series where I track how long it takes me to go through the books, how long it takes to photograph the books, how many books there are, what are sellable, what we have to lot together, what we had to throw away, and what we had to donate. I will say the lotting together is the largest pile so far. There's been a couple that are sellable on their own, and I'm considering the price criterion of sellable on their own is $5 plus shipping. So if it's $5 with free shipping, that is not sellable on its own. I am preferring it to be $15 plus to be sellable on its own. So that is my criteria for what is sellable on its own. And lotting together, if I can lot several books of a series together, several like Taste of Home books, or several Better Homes and Gardens books, not the magazines, but the actual books together, I will do that. So Again, we've only gone through 4 tubs, and I want to say we've gone through the first 4 here. So this green tub, blue tub, black tub, and then this bag. So we've gone through these 4 276 books. Our throwaway is very small, but unfortunately there's a lot of coloring books mixed in with this, and they are coloring books that have been colored by toddlers. They are just scribbled on all the pages and stuff, so they are recycled, throwaway. I can't donate those, I can't sell those. And that is so far all we've had to throw away is used coloring books. Otherwise, everything else is either donate, lot, or sell. The donation is actually our smallest pile. So it goes, lotting together is our largest pile, selling is our second largest, and our donation is our smallest pile. But we do have a local library that does sales once a month here, and they are always taking book donations. So I'm not worried about getting rid of those or having to donate those. So that is going to be the series. And I don't know about you guys, but I really like to know numbers. And this is something anybody can run across. I am not retail arbitraging this. This is literally just in a person's house. And there, so far in the 4 boxes we've been through, there haven't been, oh my God, this is, this book is $200. There hasn't been any of that yet. But let's see if I can scroll here. You can see individuals. So like Danielle Steele's not going to go for a lot. But this book actually goes for decent. It's Betty Crocker, and it's like a book set. So that's the main one. And then we're going through all of the tubs. There's a lot of children's books. That's not going to help. This car manual does go fairly well. Again, more, but these are all cookbooks like Presby Cookbook and Funfair Cookbook. All of those are local cookbooks. More children's books, more cookbooks. So again, a lot of cookbooks, more cookbooks. This is like kitschy stuff, and it was like stationery / coloring books, and she told us to go ahead and take the stationery books too. So she was very loosely counting books. We're back to that. And I think that is all of this box here, all of these are romance novels, and we have not gone through them. Again, more magazines and books, cookbooks, and we're back to the beginning. And children's books. I don't know what we're going to do with storing them. Right now they are in our climate controlled walkout basement, so they're not getting moisture and stuff, but I don't know how we're going to keep them from not getting I haven't thought that far ahead. I kind of want to see how many books we end up with, how many books we're ending up keeping, donating, and everything, and then go from there. I don't want to keep them in the tubs just because I'm going to have to wrestle books around and manhandle books and stuff to get to other books. I want to be able to see them so I know when to pull them, but I don't know if we have the room for that. So, I mean, I kind of have the idea of we have fairly large shelves, maybe doing 3 books deep, and taking a picture of every row of books so I know what is in that row without having to move rows. That is my possible solution to that while we have so many books, is just taking pictures and being like, this is row 1, this is row 2, this is row 3, and going from there. But every time I sell a book, do I fill that hole with another book? And I don't know yet. We'll find out. If you guys have suggestions, leave them in the comments. But this so far is our largest bulk buy. This is also the first time I've had a successful bulk buy from an estate sale. I've offered to buy, well, no, I take that back. I had a successful bulk buy when we bought all of the vintage slides from an estate sale 7 years ago. This is probably my second successful bulk buy from an estate sale, a non-auction, because I have done bulk buys at auctions. This is a non-auction estate sale. I just finished an auction estate sale, and I only ended up getting 2 of the lots I wanted. It was online. I have to go pick those up, but I got 2 lots for $1 a piece, and one of them is a box of cookbooks. I don't want to get those mixed up with this though, because I want this to be very specific, and I want to track this. Does it pay off? So I paid $80 for all of these books. I need to make $160 for me to consider that successful. I want to double my money. I also want to know how many books I have. So it's like an adult mystery bag. And I didn't handle all the books either. It's because there was 3 of us, we were filling up tubs and taking them out to the van. I didn't touch all of them, and she wanted us there right when it opened. It took us over an hour to fill all of these tubs and find all of the books. And she wanted us out as soon as possible because honestly, these books are in the way and they were all over the place. So we worked as fast as we could. It took us over an hour to do this with 3 people, 2 adult-sized men carrying it. So I was loading most of them. I was not carrying a lot of them just because it wouldn't have been cost effective when we think of time being money. So my son and husband were leapfrogging each other. So my husband would take a tub and go out. My son would come in, take another tub, and go out. So they were constantly taking tubs from me. I didn't have time to scan all the titles. I was just putting them in tubs as fast as possible. So we'll go from there. I think it'll be a surprise. It'll be fun. And I hope you continue watching this series of, oh my God, I bought a ton of books.